Hello. In this video, we'll talk about equation of linear lines. Now, equation of linear line can be in the form of y equal mx plus b, which we had talked about briefly. It's called a slope-intercept form. And we have ax plus by equals c, which is called the standard form. So in this video, we want to talk about how do we get the equation of a line with some information given. Well, in order to find the equation of a line, you must know the slope of the line. Okay. So to find the equation, of any linear line, meaning straight line, we must have the slope. So the slope is going to either be directly given to you or indirectly given to you. So directly given meaning that I can say the slope of the line is 2. Indirectly, we can say a horizontal line, because we know that horizontal line, the slope is 0. Okay, or we can say the vertical line, whereas we'll know that the slope for a vertical line is undefined. So one thing for sure is that we need to know the slope. Now, if we're given the slope and the y-intercept, then we can use the slope-intercept formula. Or form of equation. Okay? If you want to call it the formula. So we have seen that when we have y equal mx plus b, the m here is what we call the slope, and b is what we call the y-intercept. Yeah. So if you're given the slope and you're given the y-intercept, then all we have to do is replace those two items. We do not replace m and x, okay, in this equation, at least not right now. So as an example, suppose I say find the equation of the line with slope of minus 1/2, okay, and y-intercept of 5. Then we can graph the line. Yeah. So pay attention as to what you're finding now, the equation of the line. Before, you were given the equation of the line. So what two pieces of information is given here? We're giving the slope, okay? So we can say that m is equal to negative 1/2. We're also given the y-intercept of 5. So we know that the y-intercept is 5, or we can say 0, 5, okay? Where this is the b. So if we know this, we can use y equal mx plus b. Therefore, y is equal to m is negative 1/2, x, and b is positive 5. So this is the equation of the line. Okay? Here is the linear equation in slope-intercept form. Now, they also said to graph it. They did not indicate if to write the equation in slope-intercept form or standard form. Yeah. So we'll leave it in slope-intercept form for now. So now we want to graph y equals minus 1/2 x plus 5. So remember, we know we have m, which is minus 1/2, and we have the y-intercept, which is 0, 5. And we have a video showing how to graph lines. So if I draw the xy axis, the first point we have here is the point 0, 5. So first thing we have is we plot the y-intercept. That is 0, 5, and that will be here. Okay, x is 0, y is 5. Now because the slope is minus 1/2, minus 1/2, this is the same as minus 1/2. So we will move 1 unit down, 2 units to the right. So we'll move 1 unit down, 2 units to the right. Okay, and this would be my second point. And I could repeat that again. I'll come down 1, I'll move down 1 unit because of the minus 1, and then I'll move 2 units to the right, 1, 2, because remember, it's the rise over the run. So here is another point if I want to. And now I can take my line and connect those 3 dots. Okay, and this will be the equation of the line. Y equals minus 1/2 x plus 5. You should observe that the slope is minus and the line is traveling downwards as you move from left to right. Okay. Now, remember we have our equation y is equal to minus 1/2 x plus 5. And this is called slope intercept. Okay. Now, if we want to write this in standard form, let's get rid of the fraction. So we'll multiply everything by 2. Okay, so this becomes 2y is equal to 2 times minus 1/2 x plus 2 times 5. If I do this, we have 2y is equal to, the 2's will cancel out, minus x plus 10. And then if we add x to both sides, because in standard form the x and y has to be on the same side. Okay? If we do this, we have x plus 2y is equal to 10. And here we have our standard form. So if you're asked to put the equation in standard form, you should be able to convert from slope-intercept form to standard form. In my next example, we will find the equation of the line with slope minus 2 and a y-intercept 0, 3. Now keep in mind that this is a y-intercept, and we know that because x is 0. So in actuality, this here is my b. Okay. So what's given here, given m is equal to minus 2, and b, which is the y-intercept, is equal to 3. So we have y is equal to mx plus b, okay, plus b. Therefore, the equation of the line is y equal to minus 2x plus 3. And if we have to graph this, we can graph it. Right? There shouldn't be any problem to graph this. Now, there is also another form of which an equation of a line can be written as. And now we will look at what is called the point-slope form. And the point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? Where x1 comma y1 is a point on the line, and m is the slope. Okay? So we can use this here, or we can use slope-intercept. It doesn't really matter. Okay? If I have an example where the point is not the y-intercept. So for example, find the equation of the line with slope 4 and contains the point 6, 3. So you will notice now that what's given to us, the slope is given. So this tells me that m is equal to 4. And also we have a point, okay? We have a point 6, 3. Notice that this point is not, this is not a y-intercept. For it to be a y-intercept, the x value has to be 0. Okay? So all we know is that this is x1, y1. Okay? Now I can use point slope, and the reason I'm using point slope because a slope is given and a point is given. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y, okay, y minus, instead of y1, we will write 3 is equal to, instead of m, I'm going to write 4. And instead of x1, oops, let's stay with the colors. Instead of x1, I'm going to write 6. So you will notice that whenever you use point slope, in point slope, we do not replace the y and we do not replace the x. Okay. Simplifying this, we have y minus 3 is equal to 4x. 4 times 6 is minus 24. And then we will add 3 on both sides. And finally, we have y is equal to the minus 3 and the plus 3 cancels. 4x and minus 24 plus 3 becomes minus 21. So here is our equation of that line with a slope of 4 and passes through 6, 3. Now, alternatively, we could have also used okay, the slope intercept, or we could have used y equal mx plus b. So you will have to decide which one of these you want to use. Okay, do you want to use slope intercept or point slope? Now if you notice b, we don't have b, so we will use this to find b first. So what we do in this case, instead of y, we're going to write 3. Okay. Instead of m, we will write the 4 that's given to us, times x happens to be 6. However, we don't know b. So by finding b now, we have 3 is equal to 4 times 6 is 24 plus b. And to find b, if we minus 24 on both sides, this becomes minus 21 is equal to the plus 24 and the minus 24 cancel out, and that's b. Now what you must do, we have b, we will use the slope intercept y equal mx plus b. We will now replace m and b that we found. So the equation is y equal, m was 4, x and b is minus 21. Notice that these two equations are the same, okay? So you have the choice to use point slope or slope-intercept. You will have to decide, okay, which one do you feel comfortable working with. So that is your decision. In general, for this video, when I have a point, I will use point slope. Okay. When I have the slope and the y-intercept, I will use slope-intercept. That's just for video purposes. Example. Find the equation of the line with slope two-thirds and passing through the point -4, 2. So what information is given? Slope is given. So we know that m is equal to two-thirds. Also, what's given here, a point is given. Point is -4, 2. And you should know that that point is not a y-intercept because the x is not 0. So for this point, this is x1, here is y1. So anytime I have a point and a slope, I will use point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Plugging in the values, okay, we have y minus y1 is 2, m is two-thirds, x minus x1 is a -4. So these two negative becomes positive. So we have y minus 2 is equal to two-thirds x plus 4. Distributing the two-thirds now to the x and the positive 4, we have y minus 2 is equal to two-thirds x plus 8/3. Right? When you multiply the 2 times the 4, that becomes 8. Now we will add 2 to both sides. We will add 2 to both sides. So finally, this becomes 0, leaving you with y is equal to two-thirds x. And on the side as scrap work, what is 8/3 plus 2, which is like 2/1. So the common denominator is 3. So we have 8/3 plus something over 3. So if we multiply the bottom by 3, we must multiply the top by 3, and that's 6. And 8 plus 6 becomes 14/3. Okay? So this is 14/3. And here is the equation of our line. So please note that anytime you're asked to find an equation of a line, the slope is given. Okay? Example, I can ask you to find the equation of a horizontal line that passes through point 1, 5. So there's a shortcut for this one, but I'll do it the long way first. Okay. So you will notice that the slope is sort of given here. It's a horizontal line. So if it's a horizontal line, we have established before that m is equal to 0. Okay. And also what's given here, a point is given as 1, 5. So we do have a point of 1, 5. So here is x1, here is y1. Now if we use, since we have a point and a slope, we can use point slope. And if we use point slope, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and we plug in the values we have, y minus 5 is equal to 0, m is 0, x minus x1, which is 1. So this leaves me with y minus 5 is equal to 0x minus 0. Okay. Now 0x is the same as 0. So y minus 5 is equal to 0 minus 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. And then we add 5 to both sides. And that leaves me with y is equal to 5. Now, if you recall from one of the prior videos, we had said that the equation of any horizontal line is always in the form y equals some constant or some integer. Okay? So we knew that the equation has to be y equal for a horizontal line. Now, if you go back to my problem and you look at the point, okay, the y value here is 5. So we could have saved ourselves all of this work and just write, right? And just write y equals 5. Okay. Similarly, if I said find the equation of a vertical line passes through point 3, minus 4. Now, you have to recall vertical line. A vertical line, recall, okay, recall, a vertical line is written in the form x equals some constant c. So you have x and you have y, and a vertical line also, a vertical line, note, a vertical line crosses the y-axis, the x-axis, So your answer is x equal 3, because this is the x coordinate. That's where the line will cross the x-axis at 3. You do not need to use any formulas. Okay? This is only the case for horizontal and vertical. Okay? When it's a vertical line, it's x equal the x value of the point. When it's a horizontal line, it's y equals the y coordinate of the point, or the y value of the point. So those are two special conditions. Now, In addition, I can ask to find the equation where I don't give the slope directly. So how about if I said to find the equation of the line that passes through the points -3, 3 and 3, -1. So notice the slope, note the slope, the slope is not given directly. The reason I said directly is because we can find the slope using the slope formula. But we can find the slope, by using m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay? So we have points. Points are -3, 3 and 3, -1. So here we have x1, y1, x2, y2. So m is equal to, we'll fill in those x2 and y2s. Instead of y2, I'm going to write -1. So here we have -1. Instead of y1, I'm going to write 3. Instead of x2, I'm going to write 3. And instead of x1, I will write -3. Yeah. So these two negative becomes a positive. So we have m is -1 -3 over 3 plus 3. And that is equal to -4 over 6. So m is equal to -2/3 because I can divide this by 2 and divide this by 2, simplifying. So now we have the slope and we have 2 points. 2 points. -3, 3 and 3, -1. So choose 1 point. Okay, your decision. So you have 2 of them to choose from. Choose 1 because we only need 1. So you choose. So m we know is -2/3. The point you will choose, it all depends. It doesn't matter which one you choose. I will choose -3, 3. Okay. So here is x1. Here is y1. Okay. And now we use point slope. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we have y minus 3. The slope is -2/3. X minus x1, which is a -3. These two negative becomes positive. So we have y minus 3 is equal to -2/3 x plus 3. And now if we distribute the -2/3 to each term in the parentheses, we have y minus 3 is equal to -2/3 x plus, actually that will be a minus times a plus becomes a minus. if you multiply minus 2/3 times 3 over 1, this becomes, or the 3's will cancel, so it becomes a minus 2. Okay? And finally, if we add 3 to both sides, we have the line y is equal to minus 2/3 x plus 1. So be careful the way we write this, okay? You want to make sure that you point out that it is minus 2/3 and the x is in the numerator, not the denominator. Because if the x is in the denominator, it's a totally different equation, right? Let's look at another example. Find the equation of the line that passes through the points minus 4, 1 and minus 2, minus 5. So once again, observe that all we have is points. Okay, so our points are minus 4, 1 and minus 2, minus 5. But with 2 points, we can find the slope. Okay, so the slope formula m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So I know that I'll call this x1 y1, x2 y2. And I can plug in my numbers or replace. My y2 would be minus 5 and my y1 would be 1. x2 minus my x1. x2 will be minus 2 and x1 will be minus 4. So now we have minus 5 minus 1 divided by minus 2. These two negative becomes positive, so that's a plus 4. So finally, m is minus 6 over negative 2 plus 4 is 2. And this can be simplified to be minus 3. So we now have the slope. So we will now use the slope m is equal to minus 3, and the point, I'll pick one of the point, I'll pick the one with the x1 and the y1, minus 4, minus 1. Okay? This is x1, y1. And point slope formula, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we have y minus a minus 1, m is negative 3, and x minus x1, which is a negative 4. Okay, x1 is negative 4, and y1 is negative 1. Simplifying this, these two negative becomes positive, so y plus 1 is minus 3. These two negative becomes positive, x plus 4. So we have y plus 1 is equal to minus 3 times x is minus 3x. Minus 3 times positive 4 becomes minus 12. And if we subtract 1 on both sides now, usually I do that in blue. If I subtract 1 on both sides, we now have the equation y, this plus and minus cancel, minus 3x minus 13. And here is the equation that I'm referring to. So once we have the slope and we use either the point slope or the slope intercept, we can find our equation. The key point is that you must know the slope. Okay. Now the wordings can sometimes be a little bit tedious to understand. So let's look at this one here. Find the equation of the line through the point whose graph is perpendicular to the graph 2x minus y equals negative 3. Okay? And write your answer in standard form. So we do want to find the equation of a line through this point. So we do have a point whose graph is perpendicular. What we don't have is a slope, but we know it's perpendicular to this equation here. So the first thing we should do is find what is the slope. Find the slope of the line 2x minus y equals negative 3. Okay? And we know if we write it in the form y equal mx plus b, this here is the slope. So let's take 2x minus y equals negative 3, and let's solve for y. So we'll subtract 2x on both sides. If we do this, this will cancel with this. We have minus y is equal to minus 2x minus 3. And then we'll divide each term by negative 1. We'll divide each term by negative 1 to leave y by itself. So this becomes positive 1. So y is equal to, this becomes positive 2, and this becomes positive 3. So this is the slope intercept form of that line. So m here is equal to 2. Okay, m is equal to 2. But for perpendicular, since the line is perpendicular, the slope is m is equal to minus 1 over 2. Remember, this is the same as 2 over 1. So you flip it, and perpendicular lines always have opposite sign, right? It's the negative reciprocal. So we now have m is equal to minus 1/2, and we have the point given to us for this was minus 1, 4. Minus 1, comma 4. So we can use point slope. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So here is x1, here is y1. Okay? So we have y minus, instead of y1, I will write 4. equals, instead of m, I will write negative 1/2, and instead of x1, I will write -1. So these two negative becomes positive. So we have y minus 4 is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 1. Distributing the negative 1/2, we have y minus 4 is equal to negative 1/2 x minus 1/2. And now if we add 4 to both sides, okay, we have y is equal to the minus 4 and the plus 4 cancel, so minus 1/2 x. And on the side, our scrap work, what is minus 1/2 plus 4 over 1? So the common denominator is 2. So this is minus 1/2. Multiply the top and bottom by 2. So this becomes 8. So this is equal to 7 over 2. So plus 7 over 2. Now we're not finished because this is slope-intercept. And they want the answer in point slope. Okay? Must write answer in standard form, right? The question said write the answer in standard form. So in standard form, so we have y is equal to minus 1/2 x plus 7 over 2. The first thing I'm going to do is find the common denominator of 2. And then I will multiply each term by 2. So 2 times y is equal to 2 times minus 1/2 x plus 2 times 7. If I do this, I have 2 times y is 2y, and 2 times negative 1/2 becomes negative 1x plus 14, right? 2 times 7 is 14. And if I add now x to both sides, since the equation is ax plus by, this now becomes x plus 2y. This cancels out, is equal to 14. Okay. We write the x first because ax plus by, right? You could write 2y plus x, but generally in standard form is ax plus by. And this is standard form. Okay. Now we could also do an example where we say that the line is parallel. Okay. So find the equation of the line that passes through point -1, -5, and, well, not and, but whose graph is parallel to the equation y equals 2x plus 3. Okay. So find the equation of the line that passes through the point. So you have a point, but it's parallel to this equation. So if it's parallel, find the slope of y equals 2x plus 3. So here y is already isolated, so this is my m. M is equal to 2. Now, if they're parallel, m is also equal to 2. Parallel lines, okay, share the same slope. Parallel lines, same slope. And the point that we have is -1, -5. So we can use point slope. Using point slope, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, remember this is x1, y1, so we have y minus a minus 5, m we know is 2, x minus a minus 1. So these two negative becomes positive, so y plus 5 is equal to 2 times x plus 1. Distributing the 2, we have y plus 5 is equal to 2x plus 2. And now we minus 5 on both sides. And that leaves us with y is equal to the plus 5 and the minus 5 cancel, 2x minus 3. Now in here, they did not specify in the problem if to write in slope, intercept, or points or standard form. So since they didn't specify, we will leave the answer in slope intercept. So as you can see, we're using a bunch of formulas or different forms, right? Point slope. So we use point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I use this when I have the point, when I know the point, and when I know the slope. Okay. We also have slope intercept form, which is y equal mx plus b. And I use this when we know the slope and we know the y-intercept. Okay. And then we have the formula to calculate the slope, which is abbreviated m. So m is equal to y2, and my suggestion is to keep them in parentheses, divided by x2 minus x1. And please remember that the x always goes in the denominator. And this is the formula to find the slope. So these are the three different equations or forms that we use when we're looking at a linear equation. You should always try some examples on your own to become better at this.